Hi, we're recording this now. This is Costa, and for those of you tuning in, this is one of what I hope is many meetings for CE5 networkers to get together and, well, network, share their resources with each other. Also to promote any, and I want to really emphasize, got to be CE5 related events, books, videos, and webinars, etc. Because I think that together we're a whole lot stronger than any of us is apart. I'm sure all of you would agree with that. So for those of you who are not present now but are watching this video after the fact, today is, what is today? It's March 6th, 2021. And we have, I don't know, maybe about a dozen people, maybe it'll grow starting today. And you're from all over the place. I know there's from England, I think South Africa, different parts of the US, and maybe other parts of Europe, which reflects our community. You know, we're really a widespread bunch. And some of us on this, you already know each other, and some of you don't. Let me admit another person. But in general, I just want to say hello to everyone. I wish I could have a personal conversation with each of you, but if you want to arrange for that, contact me on the side so we can catch up on news and stuff, because many of you are friends, and I hope you'll all become friends with each other along the way. So thank you for showing up. This is really important. I really believe in community bonding, and because we're living in a time when there are so many divisions of all kinds, you know, in our worlds, that finding something that we can all agree on, that we can focus on, I think is really important, especially something as important as this cosmic connection that all of us really like doing, you know, with our star friends. So having said that, I always try to keep people focused on just the ET contact. We don't want to talk about politics, religion, pandemics, other things that rightfully have a lot of diversity in opinions, but it's just about the CE5 contact between us. And that's really what will keep us bonded together as a group. So without any further ado, what I had originally envisioned was to allow about 2 or 3 minutes for each person who wanted to speak up, and just introduce yourself, your name, you know, your location, maybe mention the name of your group, and just tell us about what's important in your CE5 world that you want everybody else to share with. In other words, if you have a webinar you're promoting that's CE5 related, give the date, the time, or an email where people can contact you. If you have a book or a video, again, in the CE5 area, do the same thing. Give us some contact information. If you have a resource you want to share, something, a skill that you want to offer to the other people, well, go ahead and mention that. Or if you have a need for some kind of a skill or some other kind of resource, money, who of us don't need a little bit more of that? I'm being facetious, but any kind of resource, will then call that out too. So this is your chance to make a pitch to the rest of the community and to forge some new bonds here where we can all help each other. And that also holds for all of you who are watching this after the fact. I want to do this every month, and hopefully this will grow. We'll see how it goes. This is the first one. So the first thing I would ask is, I hope most of you are familiar enough with Zoom that you can see where raising a hand in order to be called on is visible on your screen. Now, having said that, I can't find my own, but then I don't need to raise my hand. I see Rachel and Dave figured that out. Good on you. And so what I'll do is, thank you, Celia, I saw yours. If for some reason you can't find that, once a couple people stop speaking and I don't see any hands up there, I'll just ask you to kind of raise your hand in the video here as an alternate, and we'll go that way. But do try to find that on your screen if you can. Depending on the version of Zoom you have and on what hardware you're running it on, the raise hand little icon is going to be in a different spot. So I can't speak to all the different places where you might find that. But if the Zoom user interface people did their job right, it should be intuitively obvious to the casual observer. Yeah, right. Anyway, so you know what? Let's get started. This is your time, not mine. And I will ask you to unmute yourselves, Rachel and Dave. You have, say, about 3 minutes. And please do try to keep to that, because I want to give everyone a fair amount of time and to keep it under an hour. If we do need to go over an hour, and for those of you who can stay, we will do that. But let's try to keep it moving. Go ahead, Rachel and Dave.
Hello.
Hi, Costa. Thank you for having us on this amazing video call. It's lovely to connect with other CE5 groups around the world. We feel very blessed.
Yeah.
We're here outside in our garden in Birmingham, enjoying an open fire with our soul friends here. We've got part of our soul family here with us. We've been running CE5s here in the Midlands and beyond for the last, collectively, for 11 years. And we are now looking at expanding. We are representing the ETLetsTalk UK community here. Oh, it went black then. We are just about to look at occupying some land and having a base there to run regular CE5s just in the border of Wales. So lots of dark skies and lots of countryside.
Yeah.
And set up a CE5 retreat. So this has come at the perfect time, really, as often these things do. To actually put the call out to, first of all, to invite people to come along. Once we've got more details, we'll let people know. And secondly, to say that we are open to having any financial or other support to kind of make this happen for the UK community. We're very passionate about what we do. We really, truly believe in how this is going to help humanity to ascend and to evolve where it needs to evolve and bring about more harmony on the planet Earth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So my name's Rachel, by the way, and this is David here.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, we're very excited. Yeah, that we've been blessed with this opportunity that we've had in our minds for a while to have some land to set up a CE5 centre. And it's happening. So yeah, we're moving in a couple of months, and we're going to build our own house on the land.
Yes.
And we're going to build a CE5 and meditation retreat for the UK.
Yeah, yeah. We plan to have a pyramid on site to meditate in.
Yeah.
We'll be having our own abode on the land with some like-minded people in the community. So this is very exciting times. We feel we're very much led by our star family, our star friend, and beyond.
Yeah.
And I just want to say we've got our friend Dee here, who's also very like-minded, been on CE5s.
How are you?
In the past with us. So yeah, she's going to join us next week. We're going to do a CE5 privately here. So
yes.
Yeah, for the global CE5 year.
Global CE5, we'll be there. We'll be joining you in the ethers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
if you want to, sorry, just to let people know where they can find us, multidimensionalshow.co.uk.
could you spell that out?
Multi, so MULTI, dimensional, DIMENSIONAL, show, SHOW.co.uk.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's all one word. Okay.
All one word. Thank you.
That's exciting news. And you know what I'd like to do is if at the end of everyone talking, we still have leftover time, we can circle back. And if people, you know, have commentary on something they've heard, we'll do a second round of talking with each other. I guess that's called a conversation.
Yeah.
New word. A new word. Costa learns a new word. Okay. Thank you, Rachel and Dave. I don't see any other raised hands. Oh, I see Jeff Becker and yeah, Jeff Becker. Well, there he is. Okay. I am not a Zoom wizard, so you're going to hear me talking a lot to myself, like, Costa, what are you doing? And then I'm going to be answering. Do not worry. I do have split personalities, but they really get along well. So here's Jeff Becker from Bloomington, Indiana, one of my favorite cities.
Patrice, yeah. Sorry about the way you said that. Yeah, so yeah, actually, if you know Parks and Recreation, the TV show, that the location for that town is actually near here. Right? That's where that comes from, you know, the Rob Lowe character. You said Jeff Becker just the way Rob Lowe would have said it on Parks and Recreation.
Oh, I've only seen the show a few times, and
Oh,
What
well,
did I said Jeff Becker. Are there different ways to say that?
yeah. It's like
Okay.
Jeff Becker or Jeff Becker.
Oh, I see. Jeff Becker, take it away.
Yeah.
Is that another way? Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, so yeah, I'm in Indiana, and it's very close to the stomping ground at the IU. We have done a retreat here, one of Costa's retreats. Was it twice? And then COVID intervened, so yeah, I'm not sure where we're at this year, but we are ready to host if things are ready to go. So I guess we'll find out. And so that's I live in the boonies between two towns. I've been running a contact group here since spring of 2009. So, and it's been quite a ride. In 2012, I published this book, Past Contact, True Stories from the Contact Underground. I'll put that up close. Is that backwards?
No, you can read it.
No, we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's mirrored in my view. So
Yeah.
And so this book is personal stories. About 20 different people have written their journey in CE5, and it includes some people you might know, like Dr. Joseph Burks, who was one of the first. He's been quite a presence on social networks, especially Facebook. Ricky Butterfast, who, if you've been to anything with Dr. Greer, you've probably met him because he goes to just about every single meeting, it seems. And then, of course, Costa and Hollis are in the book. So,
And Jeff, what I want to mention is I want to thank you for all the hosting that you've done for us with the retreats there. For one thing, you guys have been just wonderful, you and Amy. And we've had great times there. But I want people also to know that Jeff's group, his own local group there, has had some amazing sightings. I don't know about downloads as much, but some pretty dramatic closer encounters and stuff over the years. So it's been a really good spot for them.
Yeah, it's been, the ETs know where we live. The protocols involve vectoring. It's in my group. We pretty much never do that because they know where we live. So they have for a long time. But yeah, it's been quite a ride, and still going. And there's more going on than things in the sky. And I'm not going to get into that right now because it's a long and winding story. But
okay,
I have star people friends who are living on Earth as human, and so that's a whole nother part of this whole deal, and it's quite exciting and has changed my life in ways I can't even begin to describe. So, but we're looking forward to another good year of group outdoor sessions this year. We managed to do some I guess social distance CE5s last year, and that worked out pretty well. I set up the circle with enough space between chairs, and we didn't meet inside like we usually do. And we'll do that this year until the whole COVID situation settles down. But we did find a way to make that work, which was kind of fun. And there are a lot of actually new people joined us last late summer and fall, and a lot of times when people join the group for the first time, you expect less activity, but that just wasn't the case. They all saw something first time every time for all the new people.
I love it when that happens. That's the best organic way to grow a group is the excitement people feel when they have their own contact.
Yeah, it's cool. Yep. And I mean, some of them had kind of amazing multiple experiences. One family is centered around the Pleiades, and so they're like 3 or 4 different things. One with their phone, one with flashes in the Pleiades, another one was their car, which is a Subaru, which the Subaru is their symbol is the Pleiades. So But
Okay,
yeah,
good,
but
Jeff.
they're getting very active. So yeah, thanks. Let me. So that's enough.
Okay, unless you have a contact URL or an email you can give out.
Yeah, so there's for this book, it's on Amazon, and you can also find links to it on pathstocontact.org. So paths to contact, just like in the title, .org. And yeah, that's it.
I highly recommend the book, everyone, because there's nothing like personal stories, as you may all know, for getting people excited to come in to doing this work. And that book is just one example of many people who've told their stories. So who's next? Any happy little hands here, little yellow hands to being raised? We're at,
Saskia.
I don't see that.
Right there. She had her hand up.
Oh, Saskia, did you have your hand up?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
you had your
yes.
hand up. Okay, I'm looking on the list, but that's why it's good to have Hollis. I have two sets of eyes now. So
I had a real hand up.
the real hand. Oh, I don't know if I can handle that.
Oh, no,
We had a sign.
Yeah, thank you very much for organizing this meeting. And I'm in the Netherlands, in a small city in the center of the Netherlands, Culemborg. And I'm involved in CE5 since half a year. And it was very easy to form a group here. It started with one other person, and then two others joined, and then another one. And we have had spectacular sightings already. And if it was rainy outside, then we just worked indoors and did meditation. And then we had inner experiences of contact. But this is not what I'm going to talk about, because I'm going to talk about the cetaceans, dolphins and whales. They are also beings with cosmic contact.
Oops.
You froze.
I've had many.
Your picture froze
I've-
and we lost your audio. So for about 10 seconds.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. But what I want to talk about is my contacts with cetaceans. They also have cosmic contacts, and they are probably also cosmic beings themselves. Well, I'm sure they are cosmic beings. They can make inner journeys just like us. They can also travel through the cosmos, but also just on Earth. At sea, I have had beautiful experiences with dolphins and whales over the years. And I have made 4 short videos, very meditative videos with meditative music, where you see the dolphins in various trips that I have made. And on Saturday evening, the 17th of April, I'm going to organize a Zoom meeting where I will start with a guided meditation. Then I give a general introduction about dolphins and whales and about my videos. Then I show my videos. The 4 of them together are 1 hour. And so I would love to invite you all to come to this to this presentation. And I'll write my my email and my website in the chat. I think that's most easy for all of you.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you so much. And how do I pronounce your name correctly? It's where the
Saskia.
Saskia. Okay. That is wonderful. I think that cetaceans fascinate many of us for all the right reasons that you're mentioning. So yeah, I see Jeff provided a link for you, Saskia, to a friend of his, Eros, Aros, not sure how to pronounce that, but yeah, I'm assuming that in the chat you also put your video link to.
Sure, yes.
Okay,
I'll put a link in the chat to the page on my website where you find the information about the
okay.
video session. And it's really interesting because the videos were taken in situations that that telepathic contact with the cetaceans was taking place and that healing was taking place. And there is no talking in the videos. There is just some text on the screen and there is meditative music. And people have reported back to me when they saw the videos that they also had experiences of healing and very deep contact with the cetaceans.
Okay, that's to be expected. I'm glad to hear that. All right, thank you. Who is next? Okay. Jeff, your hand must be tired. It's still up. It's but it's
I put it down. It was getting really tired.
no, I have to tease you. Anyone else? I see a hand from Celia. Okay, take it away.
She's still muted.
There we go. We got it now.
Yeah, got it.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Celia. I'm updating the ET Contact Hub, which is a central place where you can find resources about CE5 and contact with ET from all over the world. It's kind of like a catalog type of a place. And so there's videos, lists of websites, lists of books, lists of protocols. And so I'm really excited to hear from all of you what you have so that I can add stuff up. It does have to be C5 related. And Rachel and David, I think that we chatted before and you were telling me about the website because I recognize the website name. And I just was browsing around here and I see that the C5, and at the time I wasn't able to add the website in because I didn't see it was like CE5 specific, but I see the CE5 blog. So maybe we can talk more about like I can add that in and if there's any other areas of the site that I can add in as CE5 specific. But
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. What else? And my friend Mark Koprowski from CE5 Tokyo and I and my mom and my group, we all wrote a book called the CE5 Handbook, and we've got it available for a free download of PDF, and you can get that on at a CE5handbook.com, which I'll put in the chat to the link to. Yeah, there we go. Yep, that's it. 2 people got it. That's one. Thank you. I didn't even have mine handy. I find it hard to promote your own book, but we really want to provide the information for free. It's kind of like a resource of what I wish that I had when I had started because there were so many questions in the beginning. Anyways,
Yeah.
That's pretty much it for me.
And also I want to mention that Celia has a Canadian nationwide network of people, so that when someone shows up from Canada who registers on ETLetsTalk, to her and her friends, I'm able to connect that person so that they can kind of fold them in to their network and maybe find someone who lives near to them so that they can do their practice. And sometimes people actually come from Calgary where you are, etc. So that's an easy add there. But yeah, I'm very grateful to you and Dan and Sinead for administering the Canadian network there on our behalf, and just connecting people and being so friendly to them and so welcoming and inviting with the emails when they do show up. So I just wanted to call that out and say that it's a great job you've all been doing, and I've been watching it grow over the years with more and more cities and stuff. And the C5 handbook is what I refer a lot of people to because they love to download something like that, and it's so thorough and diverse in a way about just that one topic, but you just cover so much, and I know people appreciate it. So thank your team again for doing all that.
Thank you, Costa. I
Yeah.
will.
Next person. I can't believe you're all that shy.
Where's my hand up? Up higher. There was a hand
Where's the
up.
hand up higher? Oh, wait,
Oh,
Kat's up.
there
Oh,
we
and
go.
Joe's up. Okay, I just saw that. Okay, Kat, you're.
Yeah, I just wanted to say hi. I recognize some of the faces and names in there. I'm not so much having a team of my own, but facilitating all the teams out there, answering questions and steering people back to Costa and to Celia. And I think it's great to have a hub of so many people working together for these great changes that are coming upon us. And in fact, I have to tell you, Costa, I may be interviewing you soon for Prepare for Change, because yes, you, that smiling face. And oh, and hello, Hollis, it's really nice to see you again. So if you're up for that, we do want to start talking about what's happening with contact so much more. And for some of us have been seeing things, now we're having more like downloaded information. Like I'm getting pushed to write like mad. So I've been posting on Prepare for Change. So anyway, it's nice to see some familiar faces, and Kevin, who double dips with love when he says hello on our Facebook page. Good news every day.
Yes. Okay, thanks, Kat. That's great. The answer is yes, and we can talk and arrange that offline. So
Awesome.
so that is awesome. And I also want to call out all the help that Kat has given me at Let's Talk, because whenever I need a graphic, a picture for something, usually a graphic, she's just amazing. Comes up with the cutest, most creative designs and puts up with all my nitpicking about, can you move it this way? Can you change the color that way? In a very patient way, so that whenever you see any graphics that I publish, chances are good that Kat has been the volunteer person who has put it together. And if you're part of the Good News Every Day Facebook group, she also contributes a lot of cool graphics welcoming new members there too. So talented lady, and glad that you're part of the team,
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so I think I had seen Joe was next, and then after that I'll go with you, Kevin, just so that you know. Okay, Joe, can you unmute yourself?
Hi there, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, friends from around the world. This is Joe. I'm not going to let you see my face because it's early here and I'm still in bed and I have bedhead, which is not a pretty sight, but it's lovely to see all of your faces, beautiful friends from around the world. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for welcoming me and my people into your networks and your groups over the years. It's been amazing to be part of the network and to be in contact with you all, and to see your beautiful faces here this morning, or hear your beautiful voices, whatever. This is my voice, Celia. G'day, mate, from the bottom of the world.
Tell everybody where you're from.
I'm from Tasmania, which is a small island at the bottom of Australia. We are part of Australia, contrary to what many people think. Even Australians forget about us sometimes.
Maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah, maybe it is, especially at the moment. But yeah, we have a small field group here of about 8 core members that we've gathered over the years. And just lately, because of a few new resources coming up, we've had a lot of interest from people. So we've got a few new members coming along. We've got a CE5 scheduled for March 13th, which is next weekend, which is the dark sky weekend for us down here, down under. And yeah, so we've had a lot of people come and go through the groups. There's been a lot of change and a lot of growth, especially for me as a facilitator. I've had to learn a lot myself about people. I used to get really upset when people kind of showed up once and then didn't show up again. And now, years later, I realized that, you know, whoever's meant to be there is going to turn up. And usually we have very profound experiences with the people who do turn up. But it's just a wonderful thing to be a part of. And I really appreciate the connection with all of you guys and your help and introductions to people and things like the CE5 handbook, which is a great resource to give to people, and the Good News Every Day Facebook page, which is wonderful, and Kat's wonderful outreach to everybody. And yeah, that's us.
Okay.
We're small, but we love you all.
Thank you. Right back at you, Joe.
Thank you.
You've been a real stalwart presence down under there, and connecting to many other Oz groups, because I know that it's an active CE5 area down there, and you probably know a lot of the people that have other groups that we don't have any connection with. So so good on you for staying in place through fires and whatever else has come your way down there.
Thank you, Costa.
Yeah. Okay.
And thanks for your support, because you were there. You and Hollis were there with me during that whole horrible experience. So I will always remember that, and thank you for it.
Well, you had a lot of help and support from all over the world. That was quite profound.
Yes. Yeah.
And yeah, glad you're here then. Keep it up.
Thank you.
So Kevin, you're on. Go ahead and unmute yourself. There you go.
Hi, everybody. There we are. Look. Hi, everybody. My name's Kevin Briggs. I don't have my own group of CE5. I do CE5 on a regular basis with me and my wife, and our staff families always turn up and meet with us and greet with us. So, but I do go to one in Tampa. I live in Florida, and I go over to Tampa to Mike Merberg's Derby Ranch, and I've done quite a few CE5 over there with him, and all very successful. The amount of contact we get is just unbelievable. But what I find fascinating now is they contact my wife as well now, so that is good. And I have a couple of books out. I'm an experiencer from the age of 8. I had 2 beings materialize in my bathroom when I was 8. They were speaking telepathically to one another, which I could understand. It frightened me to death at the time, but I've had contact with them all my life, and they've introduced me to other beings, other star families as well. So quite a fascinating journey. And about 5 years ago, Alton D, that's the 2 that materialized in my bathroom when I was 8, materialized in my bedroom at about 4 o'clock in the morning one night, and asked me to speak about my lifelong experiences with them and to write about them. So 5 years ago, I started speaking about my experiences with them, my interactions with them. And I said, I don't mind speaking about it, but I'm not a writer. And Art said, well, we will continue to guide you. We will continue to teach you, and we'll give you information to include in the book. And in fact, he said, Kevin, you will write 2 books. And I now have 2 books. One, which is the first one. I don't know if you can see that there or not.
Can you hold it? Yeah, just.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, that's Spiritual Consciousness, a Personal Journey. And that's the journey of the interactions with those particular 2 ETs. And there are others as well. So, and then my second book, which I wrote with a couple of friends of mine, co-authors now, and that one's called Tap into Universal Energy.
Okay.
Again, they've got some of my experiences, but what's interesting with that book is, on one occasion I was communicating with a group of greys, about 6 or 7, and they were on a craft, and I was just meditating and communicating with them. And I knew the pilot of the craft, and I'd asked him what it was doing here, and he said, we're in the neighborhood and we came to see where you live. So, but he was off his flight path, so we didn't stay long. But what was interesting was, while I was inside meditating and speaking with this group, they showed Sandy the craft, and the craft appeared under a rainbow at the back of the house, and she took a photograph of it, which was in that particular book there. And the rainbow was, we have 5 acres at the back, was a complete 180 degrees. So it's great to have Sandy having these experiences now. And I've got one, he's a small grey, his name is Zark. He's a mathematician and engineer. He comes from the Pleiades system, and he moves my wife's stuff around the house, much to her dismay. But I did ask him why he did that on one occasion, and he said he likes teasing her. He thinks it's funny, but there's a serious side to it, and the serious side is to let her know that we are here, we are amongst you. So, and she accepts that, and she enjoys the interaction with them now. So I don't have my own group, but I'm involved with different groups, and I tried to share my message with everybody. And I know I was on a show yesterday, and I mentioned the ETLetsTalk group. I mentioned you, Costa. We need to grow as big as we can. So I keep sharing that, and it's really, like you say, just communicating with others, making the family grow bigger. We've all got a little piece of the jigsaw to share, and we can move forward together and raise the vibrational frequencies of humanity to a high level of consciousness. And that's where we're heading, and we're all part of that. So thank you for inviting me into your group. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. Do you want to leave or type in on the chat an email or a website where to get your books? Go ahead and do that as we
Okay, I'll do that. I do have a website, and on the website I've uploaded some interviews that I've done over the past 5 years, and they're quite interesting if you're interested in the subject. And if you just go onto events and media, I'll put my website up, and then you can watch those videos that I've uploaded. I've even got a channel in there that I did a channel, in fact, might be 2 channels. Yeah, I think there's 2 channels. I did a channel down at the Free Foundation in Miami a couple of years ago with Ray Hernandez. And I think I've uploaded that one on there. And that explains what my ET group of 8 want to actually achieve and are working towards that. So that's, if you're interested in that side of it, there's a video there to have a watch as well. But I'll type it in now, and then people can make their own minds up what they want to do.
Excellent. Thank you very much for sharing all that. Anybody who's had personal contact in the way that you have, your own group that's gone over time, is really where all of us are going eventually, right? When we want full contact that we talk about. You, from the age of 8, are a template, an example of what all of us will experience someday, or if not us, maybe our children. So I've asked them to show up in my house, but please, not in the bathroom. You know, like enough is enough. You know, like the living room's okay, definitely the kitchen. But okay, thank you, Kevin. And I saw Jalen. Is that or Jay Allen? My eyes are not resolving this. Go ahead and unmute yourself and let me know how to correctly pronounce your name, if you would.
Hello, I'm Jessica.
Oh, Jessica. Duh. Okay.
Yeah, it does. It just, that's my university ID, so it just pops up everywhere. Well, first off, let me apologize for probably sticking my foot in my mouth, because I have Asperger's and it just happens. But I should probably be the last person who's publicly speaking. But I don't really have a book to promote. I'm in Memphis, Tennessee, and I have no group here. I wish I did. Before the pandemic hit us, I had been gearing up to approach my church about inviting people to form a group there. They're Unitarian Universalists. They're very open community, very loving community, and they're, as such, would probably be most likely to succeed in making contact. But I came today primarily with a question for the entire community, any here and any who may view it later. If anyone has ever looked into possibly going interdisciplinary, so to speak, and has anyone else looked into the progress being made in ITC research? Because they have some equipment now. And before I invest in a whole lot of money and into some equipment and some apps or such, I want to find out if anyone is already doing that in the CE5 contact community. And
What's the acronym?
If
What's
they've
the
had,
acronym mean?
do what?
What does the acronym mean?
ITC is
Instrumental.
instrumental
Instrumental transdimensional communication. These people are talking with the dead.
Yeah.
Now the dead have no vocal cords. It is purely through consciousness and the equipment. I do know that in CE5, people are doing things with walkie-talkie radios, just getting static noise responses. They take EMF meters. Oddly, a lot of the ghost hunters use the same stuff, but they also use this communications equipment, and you're having whole conversations with disembodied individuals. Steve Huff of Huff Paranormal is way out on the forefront in that, but he has no interest in ETs, although on 2 occasions that I have been looking at his stuff, he has encountered them whether he wanted to or not. But it would be interesting to me to see if this could take our entire community to a whole new level of communication. Because even if the ETs do not have vocal cords or ears or what have you, there is a communication taking place, and it is through consciousness. And if the dead can use that equipment, they should be able to use it too.
I think that's fascinating. It's all, everything's interrelated. And I know that Ray Hernandez and his groups talk about contact modalities being very diverse. So the question has even come up in our groups and discussions. How do we know we're talking to ETs? Sometimes people will ask, what if they are departed relatives or friends or interdimensional entities of another kind? And so that whole begs the question. I mean, the good news is that we can communicate with all those different kinds of beings. Whether you can label them and find them, that's a whole nother discussion. But the fact is, if someone has some equipment like what you're talking about, the ITC people, that they use for those who have moved on into other realms of existence, why wouldn't that equipment also maybe be useful in our work? So I think that's a real legitimate question you pose.
I think it's a great idea, and we should call Mark Macy, but Mr. Markman here raised his hand physically. So.
Okay. All right, I'll move along here, and thank you, Alondra. Oh, by the way, Jessica, if you want to put your email into the chat so that people might be able to answer your question if they know anything about this equipment. If you contact me at costa@etletstalk.com, in our living room, we have hosted Mark Macy, who's been a member of the ITC World group forever. And he did a presentation here. He played us a recording of one of his researchers who had passed on and came back and left a recording to tell everyone, hey, I'm still here. We heard that and learned a lot about some of his equipment. And this was about 10 years ago that they were using. So it's nice to see the group is still thriving and probably making progress. And it's a legitimate question to see what kind of crossover they can provide with their equipment. So
can I say something?
Yeah.
So when he was here, he had a piece of equipment, the illuminator, right, which seemed to draw spirits from the other side, and I could actually see the other side very clearly. And I met his father, who's been long gone. I mean, who I never met in physical reality. And it occurs to me that it may be that the illuminator is at a particular frequency, and I could ask Mark if there were illuminators at other frequencies that would reach other civilizations. So, for what it's worth.
Cool.
Okay. Thank you again, Jessica. All right, Alondra, if you can unmute yourself. I see you are. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Alondra Markman. I'm in New Orleans, Louisiana. And I felt like going now because I'm just so excited to hear about other people in the southeastern US. I'm really close to Tennessee and Florida, so it'd be really cool if we could have some regional things going on. I am a secret space program survivor, so I have had a lot of intimate contact with ETs from my earliest awareness, both positive and negative, usually very intense. and there are a whole lot of stories there. Have interviews up about it, and I do a lot of healing work with secret space program and ritual abuse and trauma-based mind control survivors. That's a big part of my life. I've been doing CE5 groups for about 5 years, and it's part of a whole schedule of different interdimensional meditations that I facilitate. But always one of my favorites because I can really feel the collective energy when everybody's doing it worldwide. And I love the schedule that you do it on, doing it on the new moon. And this Saturday is actually on the new moon, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, I've been doing that probably 4 or 5 years. And I have a lot of different groups. They're drop-in, they're by donation. They're mostly on Zoom. People from all over come. I have some local people, but they're in and out. New Orleans draws a lot of traveling people and artists, and that's a lot of my scene. I'm also a creative artist. So yeah, so the local people come and go, but I have a drop-in group that's for anybody, anywhere. Yeah, I guess that's the essential stuff.
That's fascinating, Alondra. Can you put in on your chat your contact info?
Yeah, I will do that. My main my main ET group that I feel the most connected to are the Ontarians. I have a lot of, they're sort of my guides, and I mean, yeah, I've had a lot of different experiences with different groups, but yeah, so I call my thing Ontarian Journeys. I'll put it in the chat. And if anybody wants to check out a group, I'll put my email and you can reach out to me there. So
that's great. Do you know Lucretia McBride in New Orleans?
I don't.
She's had a Lake Huma group there for years, and they would even actually go out in the middle of the lake, 30 or 40 of them, if I recall correctly. And Lucretia is a forensic investigator in her day job, and has been doing CE5 as, and organizing for many years. If you contact me at costa@ETLetsTalk.com, I'll connect you via email. I haven't heard from her in quite a while. I know she gets really busy, so she may or may not reply, but hey, she's in the New Orleans area. It's worth a try. And I would love to help you that way if she wants to connect with you. So yeah, I look forward to hearing from you. Who's next, if anyone?
Greetings, everyone. So happy to be here in this space.
There you are. Okay.
Yes, I'm Shauna, the Shamana, also referred to as Red Feather Girl. And I got into this life when I downloaded Dr. Greer's ET Contact app in 2012 and just started experimenting. This inner voice kept telling me to go outside on my balcony and stargaze. And I was doing that several times a week between 3 and 4 in the morning because the inner voice kept saying, go out to the balcony and stargaze. And I'm like, what is this all about? I was assistant principal at the time, so I had to be at work at 6, but I was just following the instructions. I was like, what's going on? And ended up waking up, falling asleep on my balcony and waking up one morning to this glistening star that eventually morphed into a spaceship. And from that day forward, my life changed forever. And so I ended up becoming an ambassador and working with Dr. Stephen Greer and becoming this part of the CSETI program and training with him over the course of those years. And also working with Daryl Anka as an executive producer of the First Contact Bashar documentary. And just have dedicated my life to educating earthlings about our consciousness and how it's so interrelated and connected to CE5s. So I'm local here in Atlanta, and I started a podcast called Alchemy Talk, and just experimenting and just educating people, and as well as myself along the way, because I don't know everything, about contact and the raising of our consciousness and our ascension, and have conducted CE5s as well, and have worked with Brian Sims here, the local chapter here, the Georgia chapter, CE5 ET Contacting Initiative. We work together, but also looking forward to this spring actually truly conducting CE5s for the average locals here in Atlanta who are just have no clue. So and moving forward with the podcast on Clubhouse and through Eventbrite. So yeah, I'm just glad to be here, and I'm inspired by everyone's work here with their writing projects and initiatives and publishings.
Okay.
So thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's fascinating. Thank you for all the work you're doing down there. I'm familiar with the Atlanta group. Do you know Sam Mixon? And
I know Sam.
no, Sam's
Yes.
great. Say hello to Sam for me.
Yes. Will do.
Good old boy from way back.
Yes. Yes.
And yeah, put out the word in Atlanta. I think that's a vibrant cosmopolitan community that's just waiting for the greater cosmopolitan community, you know,
Yes.
for the cosmos. So good on you. And put your contact information, if you could, in the chat box.
Will do.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else? I see we have about 25 people. We have about 6 minutes, you know, so we could talk to a couple more, or we could just quit early or follow up. I see a great view from Jamie Lee, and I know exactly where that view is from out of your window there.
Beautiful.
But I won't put you on the spot to talk, Jamie, but I will say hello.
Hi.
And Alice says hi. Is there anyone else? Or any follow-up questions that any of you want to to touch base back with someone else who said something?
Yeah, I wanted to ask Kevin to post his website URL because I don't see it in the chat yet. Kevin Briggs.
Did you get that, Kevin? Oh.
Can you put your website link in the chat, please? You're muted, so I can't hear you.
Yes, I was trying to put it in the chat, and for some reason, it's gone into Cat Carol's. It's gone directly to her rather than to everyone.
That's
right above where you type in what you want to type in. There's a thing that says who it goes to.
Right. Well, I clicked on the. I've written in there before, and I haven't had any issues. But today, I seem to have an issue with it. Let's have a look again. I say I did type it in, but it went direct to Cat.
Well, Kat, if you've got it, Kat, can you cut and paste it to everyone if you're able to pitch in like that, if you can hear me?
Oh, yeah, I hear you fine. Let me see if I can find it. I didn't
I can tell you what it is. It's very simple. It's kevinjbriggs.com. So it's just my name with my middle initial, which is J. So it's kevinjbriggs.com. So
okay.
That's
easy.
Yeah. And my email's the same. It's just kevinjamesbriggs@gmail.com. And if anybody wants to contact me on there, they can do. If they go onto the website, it's got a link to my email anyway. And I check my emails every day and always respond to people if they've got any questions or anything. So yeah, I'm open to contact, and I'm supposed to be talking about it. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I can vouch for that. I see Kevin on Facebook in the C5 groups a lot, on Good News Every Day, and so he is very responsive. Anyone else? Threads to tie up or questions to ask? And if not, if I don't see any more hands, let me make sure. Okay, I think we can conclude this then and pack it nicely within an hour that hopefully will be full of information for some of you and lead to some new things and some new adventures and new information. Please tell your friends about this. I will try to do this again in about a month. usually probably the week before the global CE5. So I think next month, April is the 10th for the regular CE5 event. So that means that maybe on the 3rd, the Saturday before, I'll make an announcement to the wider community for this. So I'm going to open it up to the wider community rather than just the smaller group of people I invited today, because there are thousands more. I don't know how many people will respond. I might get overwhelmed, but you know what? This is an experiment and we'll adjust accordingly, because it's more important that those of us who can should meet and share than not. So I would rather have too many people and just kind of fumble around rather than not do any of this at all. So thanks again, everybody, for being here. You've made this a great maiden voyage, you know, and I hope that good things come out of this. Take care, and I will just say goodbye, and until next time then.
Thank you, Costa. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
In Lakesh.